What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Morrissey. Once again, big shout out to Seb, and we're going to continue through the period from 89-90 and tracks taken from Bona Drag, which I hadn't already reacted to. And the next one in the list is Lucky Lisp. Let me check the metadata really quick, just to make sure there's no essential information. It does say Stephen Street, once again. In terms of the producer, or it says composer actually. But yeah, it doesn't say any other information that I see. Oh wait, I'm wrong. The last of the famous B-side. So, okay, it was the B-side to the tune that we heard last time, the last of the famous international playboys. In any case, the title, you know, a lisp, it's like a certain inflection in someone's speech. I suppose like people consider it a speech impediment. I actually had like I was, you know, a very like active, like physical kid, and I was like on a little, it's like a toy bike essentially, and I remember I hit a wall and I had to have like dental surgery, and as a result of that, there was a few years after that where I had a lisp. I still like, I think technically have it today. I feel like for most words it doesn't, you know, come through, but either way, I do wonder if that's the type of lisp we're talking about. I don't actually know any other, you know, usage of the term. Perhaps there is a notable other definition, but I'm not privy to it. So yeah, with that in mind, you know, or not contrasting, but coupling that with Lucky, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. You know, like it could just be an alliterative, you know, they both start with L, so it, you know, sort of flows in terms of the syllabic progression. But yeah, someone having a certain way of speaking such that they have a lisp, you know, could that be seen as lucky? I suppose in a given context, but I can't really think of the parameters that would lead to it. So not really sure what to expect, but it's, you know, it's a funny, like, intriguing title is I guess what I mean to say. Let's find out what it actually is. This is Morrissey, Lucky Lisp, a tune from the 1989-90 period, which is apparently the B-side of the last of the famous international playboys.
When your gift unfurls, when your talent becomes apparent, I will roar from the stalls, I will gurgle from the circle. The saints smile shyly down on you. Oh, they couldn't get over your nine-leaf clover.
All these like syllabic couplings.
Wasn't wasted on you. When your name's with the bears, will my name be on your guest list? And I will roar from the stalls. Ooh, the balcony full was me a fool.
I'm not sure what. I think I lost the thread. I always like when Morrissey does this kind of thing. sonic and then more sort of like classic Morrissey Smith sounds. Also a blend of the type of singing that, as I said, I really enjoy with, you know, a more you know, straightaway lyrical type of singing. And again, I don't know like what you call that, the sort of non-lyrical, melodic, like melismatic, where you're just kind of hitting, you know, notes and you're not really singing words. But as I said, I've always thought that Morrissey does that type of singing very well. And yeah, it's funny, like going into a tune like this, it was a quirky title, and I'm still not quite sure I've cracked the nut of thematic interpretation here. The idea that it wasn't wasted on this person, you know, it would suggest that it was either used well or it was well suited to this person's, you know, personality, conditions, behavior. But I don't know why, like I couldn't pick up on why, and then suddenly it was like, wait, he's talking about Jesus, and like, you know, obviously like there are people with that name who are not the, you know, scriptural figure, but that would be my presumption, is that that's who he's talking about, and then he's saying he couldn't do this, or, but like I didn't hear the full lines, and it's like, okay, wait, so I've lost the thread now, I'm not sure how that's, you know, and maybe like the stuff I heard before that was actually relevant to, you know, either that dynamic, or I just, you know, didn't follow the bouncing ball, so to speak. But yeah, there was a point at the beginning where I sort of felt like I was like, okay, so it's this person, and you know, it's like their lucky Lisp, and what was it, the rover over, I forget exactly what the sequences were, but the opening you know, first minute or so seemed to have a number of syllabically similar, if not like overtly alliterative pairings. So it felt like that was sort of a deliberate, you know, phonetic intention. But again, I don't necessarily know how that connects to what I heard later. So, but as I said, I really enjoyed the sonics. Couple moments where the guitar came through is like, ooh, you know, it's like I was focusing on his melodic singing, but the guitar's really doing some tight, like, you know, a bit of like wicked work, and I enjoyed the way like every bar the drums were kind of rolling, or, you know, doing a fill. I think technically, I'm not, like, again, my knowledge of the technical terms in a lot of these areas is a bit lacking, but the visceral experience of it, I feel like on some level I've tried to develop my own nomenclature to suitably convey what I'm experiencing. But again, the way the drums, they weren't just like a straightforward, you know, like bar to bar, it's just the simple like rhythm, and then at the end of the measure you do maybe one roll and a, you know, cymbal crash. It was like each bar they were, you know, doing these syncopated flourishes. So yeah, just a cool tune overall sonically, and one that felt less overall Smiths-like than some of the others. It felt like it was more hybrid, and some of it was moving into territory that I don't necessarily think of when I think of the Smith sound. Although having said that, you know, the latter stages, certainly Strange Ways, there were sounds that weren't necessarily, you know, what they were known for in the first couple albums. In any case, I'm rambling, which I tend to do after a really good tune. I do want to mention I will do a Smiths reaction in the same batch. Shout out in advance to Days Illusion. But again, shout out to Seb also for sharing the Morrissey stuff. All the people who make these deep dives available on the channel, you are vastly appreciated. Do let me know what you think of the tune. I'll see you next time. Peace.